Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and who have learned this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations unto all the Akim, you brothers preaching His word in truth and in sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the hopeful elect, you sincere believers scattered wherever you may be. So the title of this one, Lord will be The Seed. Continuing on, is it okay to deal with the other nations? ? And the simple answer to that is yes. All right, because Lord knows, first coming into the truth, you have the different Israelite camps that preach and teach that you should only be dealing with just the Israelite women, when that is false. Okay, as an Israelite man, we have the freedom to deal with whatever woman we'd like among the other nations. Okay, and it's kind of a response to the elder apostle Recha going into this topic. And then also I wanted to hit on the point of the Gentiles, and basically how when we deal with a said woman from the other nation, that baby that we birth, whether it be a daughter or son, will be an Israelite. Why? Because we carry the seed, and no matter what type of soil we plant our seed in, so to speak, it's still going to be the, what that seed is. Basically, when you have like brothers break it down, when you have an apple seed, you plant it in, say, in Gary, right? It's still going to be an apple seed in that soil. And you have that same apple seed and you plant it across the world, say in Brazil, in that different type of soil. What's eventually going to grow out from that seed is still going to be an apple, right? And the same thing with the man laying his seed, right, his semen, in a particular woman, right? And this is how you get the speckled bird, right? The more light-skinned brothers or daughters, you know what I'm saying? Because through the Israelites, while we had, now mind you, yeah, we are of a dark complexion, but when we deal with the other nations, we're going to come out looking different. This is why you have Israelites scattered. We're scattered, right? We're scattered among the four corners of the earth. That's why, pursuant to, Revelation 7, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, man, the elect is going to be looking, well, really Israel is going to be looking as all the nations, as all the different nations. You're not just going to have a stereotypical, looking so-called black man or Hispanic or Native American for that matter. The Israelites could look like a so-called white man, a so-called Chinese man, a so-called Japanese man, right? And so, Lord willing, we're just going to grab these scriptures. Lord willing, this will be edifying and it all comes together. So hitting upon those two topics. Yes, you can deal with other nations, and also going into Israelites according to the flesh. So we're going to start with 1 Kings 11:1, just to show you that, and mind you, just to show you that our forefathers dealt with women of other nations, and had multiple wives for that matter, because you have those people that claim that, that we can only deal with one woman. Hey, now mind you, it's a balance, but hey, there's no cap on how many women we have. Now, is it wise to have a lot of women in these times? Probably not. Okay. But in the kingdom of heaven, brothers are going to have as many women as they want. But going into this 1 Kings 11:1, it reads, "But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall not go in to them, neither shall they come into you, for surely they will turn away your hearts after their gods." And that's the point right there. Basically, because the Lord is not the author of confusion. As Apostle Rakah hit on the point, going into the law, I believe it's Deuteronomy 28, or actually we wrote it down, Deuteronomy 21:11. You had the law basically when we were going to war. Well, I'll just read it, okay? So this is Deuteronomy 21:11. "And seest among," or I'll start at 10, right? It says, "When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord, Yahweh thy power, hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman," right? So you see, you went to war, you grabbed the spoil. That's why you have that word booty. You take it. It was booty, it was spoil. The woman of the different nations, right? It says, "And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her." So if you know what I'm saying, if you like what you saw, what? It says that thou wouldest have her to thy wife if you wanted to wife her. And wife, when you get a wife, is you do what? You have sex. That right there is marriage. When you have sex with that woman is now your wife. All right. It says, "Then shalt thou bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. She shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife." So it was basically like a month period to where she would be humbled, basically, and it's going to go into it. It says, and it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go, whether she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. And basically that's the point. So it's in a law that we could deal with basically the concubine, okay, a woman of the other nation. If you like what you saw, hey, you basically humbled her. She mourned and got right for 30 days, you know, and we could go onto them. So going back to that 1 Kings, and it's going to go into how basically Solomon had all these wives and concubines, but it was through what? Or he went off through how? How did he go off? Not necessarily having all the wives and the concubines of other nations, no. It's due to the fact that he went and served their gods. Okay. Okay. 1 Kings 11:1. Salakia, bear with me. 1 Kings 11. Okay. And also, I'll start back at verse 1. It says, "But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, which are the Chinese, modern." It says Ammonites, which are the Japanese, Edomites, so-called white women, Zidonians, and Hittites. And Salak if I'm wrong, but I believe those are of Ham descent. Let's see if it'll just ratification. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, I believe those are yep, that's I believe this is Joshua 13:4. It says, from the south, all the land of the Canaanites, and Merad, that is beside the Zidonians, unto Aphek, the border of the Amorites. So, Salaki, if I'm wrong, okay, but I do believe these are the, basically, from Ham, which would be so-called Africans today. All right, but point being, they were heathen. They were heathen women. It says, but of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. All right, we love our women. It says, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. It says, for it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his power, as was the heart of David his father. So that is the reason. Okay. That was his sin. And we speculate through the spirit, as Elder Pastor Rakah and the other brother that he was with, it was the wives that turned away his heart. And we can speculate it was the, you know what I'm saying, the Israelite women. Eve. And you know, a lot of them now are, you know what I'm saying, like the scriptures say, they're turned after Satan, loosely paraphrasing already. That's why it's, how can you knock a brother for dealing with the heathen women when, hey, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna treat you better, and they're gonna be in a even more humble than these damn Eve, you know. But let's get from here. Let's jump to Numbers 12, just to give an example again. Numbers 12, and I'm gonna park up, Lord willing. Park up. Numbers 12, starting at verse 1. It reads, and Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he married. Okay, so he married an Ethiopian woman. It's one of our forefathers, man. It says, for he had married an Ethiopian woman, Cushite woman, as it read in the NLT. And we're gonna see the judgment of basically, well, we're gonna read down, okay? So it says, Numbers 12 and 2, and they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which are upon the face of the earth. It says, and the Lord Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord came down on the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto you, or unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. It says, with him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, then, were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Okay. So I'm going to read in the NLT just to give further clarification. It says, I speak to him face to face, clearly, and not in riddles. He sees the Lord as he is. So why were you not afraid to criticize my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, behold, she was leprous. So the Lord did this to Miriam. Why? Because they were criticizing Moses because he married an Ethiopian woman. Right? It says, and Aaron said, verse 11, Salakia. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And this also goes to show you that, you know, we were fairly dark-skinned people, because That leprous is what? White as snow. That skin. That's how you know it's a curse onto the Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Onto the paler people. Right? It's not right. This is really not normal. Okay? That's why, like Apostle Gabor had mentioned, you know what I'm saying, in one of his videos, this is why the tanning business is such a big booming business, because they know within themselves they want to get that pigment back. They're looking to be darker. Right? But not to get off topic. And basically that was the point there. Okay? That was the point there. Right? That even Aaron, or Salakia, Moses had married a Cushite woman, and due to you know what I'm saying, Miriam scoffing at that, what the Lord plagued her. So how is it that we can't have a heathen woman today? It doesn't make, you know what I'm saying? We can, right? We can deal who we want to deal with, and who are we to judge another man's servant? So from there, let's jump to so now we got that out the way, right? And you can also look at at our different forefathers, such as Jacob, just for example, how he had 4 wives. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, who was it? Abraham, and an Egyptian, Abram, yep, an Egyptian handmaid who he went into, right? And had children by. So we got that. So from here, I'm going to jump to Leviticus 24, going into the topic of the seed, how we went into in the beginning of this video, how as an Israelite man, when we lay our seed in a heathen woman, that our child will still be an Israelite. Okay. And it's a spirit. I'm in the book of Leviticus, and read this the other day, so it's fresh on the mind. And this is just a very valid point. It hits the nail on the head, so to speak. So I'll read straight to the point. Leviticus 24:10, right? It says, "And the son of an Israelitish woman, whose father was an Egyptian, went out among the children of Israel." So why was this son of an Israelitish woman, or Salakia, why is this woman an Israelitish woman and not just an Israelite? Because the word ish just means somewhat, not whole. Why? Because that woman's father was an Egyptian. So it's telling you right there, an Israelitish woman. Okay? That's how you know it's about the seed. That's your race, right? It's who your father is. This is where, you know what I'm saying, through the seed was carried on through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And through that, we could tell, you know what I'm saying, we're the sons of the God. We're sons of the Most High. And it's really through the Spirit. And Lord's will, we can go into that later on. But to finish it out, it says, "And this son of the Israelitish woman and a man of Israel strove together in the camp. And the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of the Lord and cursed. And they brought him unto Moses, and his mother's name was Shelomoth. It says, the daughter of Debri of the tribe of Dan." But that's the point right there. Point being, it was the son of an Israelitish woman. Ish, again, meaning somewhat, not fully. She wasn't a full Israelite. Because why? Her father was an Egyptian. Point blank, period. Okay? So let's go from there to Numbers 1:18 through the Spirit. Numbers 1:18. It says, "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers." Why? Because that determines your race, your nationality. Okay? And we believe that through faith, that we come from the 12 tribes. Why? Because we resonate through the Spirit with this truth. We understand this book. It was given unto the children of Israel. Okay? And this is who the Lord is going to save, the elect out of that nation of Israel. But it says, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. All right, so from there, let's jump to, I had Romans. Oh, actually, before that, let's go to Genesis 17. Now, actually, I believe it was, I looked up the word seed. Salakia, bear with me. Oh, man. No, I looked up the word Israelite. I'm pretty sure. God. Yep. So just to make a quick point, Romans 11:1, and I say then, have the Most High cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham. That's the point. Of the seed of Abraham. It's through the lineage. Okay? And he knew he was an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. And this is this is Paul. This is Paul speaking right here, because how? You go to Romans, and he was speaking to who? The Israelite foreigners that were living in Rome. Okay? It says, Romans 1:1, Paul, a servant of Yahushua HaMashiach, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of the Most High, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures, concerning his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh. How can you get around this? And this also cuts that immaculate conception doctrine. He had a mother and a father, Mary and Joseph. And it's through that through that lineage, and it states that genealogy going in Matthew 1:1, starting at Matthew 1:1, it tells you the line he came through, right? Through that seed. and also the going into that genealogy, the word gene, going into sperma or sperm, it's through the seed. Okay? So he was made of the seed of David according to the flesh. And these are, well, let's grab it, Romans 9:4. Who the Lord came for? It was the Israelites. No other nation. Okay? This is why when it speaks of the Gentiles, is what? The Israelites that were in a Gentile state of mind. Right? And then when it says basically going into neither Jew nor Greek, is due to what? Because we went through the Hellenization period, where we basically got turned out into that, you know what I'm saying, into the Greek philosophy, partaking in them different Greek standards, so to speak. But what? They were still Israelites. Romans 9:3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, or the anointed. And verbatim it says Christ. It says, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises, whose are the fathers, our forefathers, going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who that through that chosen seed, okay, was given what? The glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises. Verse 5, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, the Hamashiach came, who is over all, God blessed forever. Amen. Right. And I'm going to read in the NLT. Oh, man. And we could close. I'll close out with Romans 8:16, Lord willing. Okay. Romans 9:5. Romans 9:5 NLT. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are their ancestors. And Christ himself was an Israelite, or Hamashiach, because, you know what I'm saying, we know what that word Christ ties to. But it says, and Hamashiach himself was an Israelite, as far as his human nature is concerned. And he is power, right? Because the Most High and Yahweh Shai are two different entities on the same accord, though. Okay. It says, the one who rules over everything and is worthy of eternal praise. Amen. And now, because you had Israelite that came up to the camp this past Saturday and was basically scoffing at first. He kind of humbled down, though. He kind of, you know what I'm saying, settled in after we were dealing with him. But he pointed out myself. And he's saying that I was a so-called white man. When really, I don't get it because, you know what I'm saying, I'm a fairly light-skinned brother. You know what I'm saying? I still have that melanin in me, but he was being ignorant, blah, blah, blah. But again, it's not about skin color, okay? Because again, we were scattered, through the four corners of the earth. So this is it right here, Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So it's really through the Spirit. Spiritually, we know that we're Israelites. We don't have to do a DNA test. We don't have to really know our family tree because, hey, a lot of Jakes, they don't even know their fathers, man, due to the curses. And that's also a telltale sign of how we're Israelites because we have the curses upon us, right? For a sign. But it's really through the Spirit, man. We got that salt. And we're calling on the names of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. We have faith. Okay? But it's through the Spirit. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Okay? That's how we could, that's how we really know that we're Israelites, man. Okay? But it's through what? We have to be of that lineage. And through faith, we believe that. Okay? And so, Lord willing, that was it. All right, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rechak Wadash. Lord willing, this all came together and was edifying unto you. All right, double honors again unto the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Peace and salutations again unto all the Akim, preaching his word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom, wa, abab, abal.